Welcome everyone back out on a primal pursuit mission, and look at this morning. Just got the sun peeking up on the horizon. Out on the Senator once again. Out for a day of spearfishing and diving. We're targeting anything that moves today. I'm pretty excited, haven't been out here for over a year, so keen to get into it. We've got a couple of hours of incoming tide now, so I'm going to race out, get that wetsuit on, and we'll get stuck in. This is probably going to be the best time of diving, these first couple of hours while that tide's still pushing. I'm sure we'll get a feed no matter what, so yeah, just out to enjoy and hopefully find some new spots. Right guys, punched out. Nice quick run in this boat versus the IOB. Anyways, we've got to a bit of a headland here, a point, rocky outcrop. Current should be heading past here. Sound is full of baitfish, so I'm going to quickly gear up, jump in here. It's not where I was planning to start, but may as well jump in on the way and just have a quick look and see if we can pick up a morning kingy. There's a lot of bait and sign down below, big arcs on the sounder, so yeah, I'll just get that suit on, we'll jump in. Right guys, I'm anchored up. Yeah, let's not waste any time, let's get in and see what's underwater. It's a little bit green, but I'm sure we're about to see something. Jumping in, and the visibility was a bit better than expected. You can see the lush kelp beds below. That's about 10 meters down, 10 to 12 meters. The whole water column here is filled with baitfish, koheru, demersal, other little fish. The place is alive. The fish are pretty active, look to be feeding. It's good signs. But no kingfish show, and the current is strong. I'm struggling to fin here. I'm kicking with all my might, trying to get back to the boat, and I'm not making much ground. I finally get a small break and make it over the reef here to tuck around the corner. Crazy current. Not really a place to be diving by yourself, so I head back to the boat. Some big schools of silver drummer here. Apparently not bad eating. Not my cup of tea, but I'm sure I just need to find the right recipe. Whew, that was pretty intense. It's a full moon, so the water was just hauling ass past this point. A bit dangerous really. I should have just done a drift dive in hindsight with the boat. I was just thinking if I do shoot a big kingy and get into a big fight, I could drift right around that corner down the coast. I thought, better just to get out. I'm sure we'll see another kingy somewhere else throughout the day, so yeah, we'll shoot along to some new coastline. I'll use this morning sun and we'll go for a swim along the coast and go for a morning snapper snoop, something like that. Yeah, enjoy the day. It's going to be a beautiful one. Not a cloud in the sky. Awesome. I was going to go on for some snapper, but I've just come across this reef system on the sounder. A couple of pins come up to 15, 8 meters and all sorts, and I can see on the surface here it is alive with baitfish. It must be trevally, kahawai and the likes, and I reckon there's going to be kingies underneath, so we'll get in for a closer look. I'll show you and then we'll jump in. Look at this on the surface here, unbelievable. Absolutely alive with fish. Wow. Looks to be trevally mostly, and it's getting hit by something. I reckon there's going to be a kingy underneath there, so I'm going to tie my spigot up to the bow of the boat and we'll just drift through it and we'll see what's underneath. Let's get in there. Jumping in on these reefs and pins was incredible. The amount of trevally in this school was just immense. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of nice sized trevally. Clean blue water. Just a special sight to behold. I knew these trevally would hang around, so I could always take one whenever I want. I'm just looking below, searching for a big dark green body, hunting in the depths, a nice big kingfish. Sinking down into the trevally school, it was just immense, the size of it. The water started to become a bit more murkier and greener the further I got down, and no kingfish underneath. I'm back on the surface and I'm just looking for some other baitfish such as koheru or kahawai. These two fish are much higher on the menu for a yellowtail kingfish, one of their favourite snacks. So if I find these, I'm much more likely to get onto the kingfish. With no kingfish showing or other baitfish, I decide it's time to get a fish on the board and stretch out to try and secure a nice trevally. In this case, the fish just turns as I pull the trigger and it skims past the head. With the current very strong, I've drifted off the reef system, drifted off the big school of fish, so jump back on the boat, buzz around in front of them again, ready to drift through them with the current. The school seems to get bigger and bigger. It's immense, so many trevally. Just as I see some reef structure below, drifting over, I spot a kingfish, another one and another one. There's a few of them, hunting the reef, hunting the baitfish. As I make my way over the reef, you can see a few different species here of baitfish, all the smaller koheru, there's a few kahawai in the mix. This place is alive. Amazing. After not seeing the kingfish for a few minutes again, I'm not sure if they're coming back, so dive down, decide to take a trevally, and this time with a much better shot right through the spine. Whether raw, pan-fried, smoked, trevally are just an awesome table fish. very versatile and excellent eating. I bleed the fish, rip the guts out, and as you'll see soon, in hindsight, I should not have done that. Well, ripping the guts out at least. Dispatching the fish, reloading the spear gun. Once again I've drifted off the reef system, so quickly jump back on the boat, cruise around, and I'm back on the drift again. So easy when you have a nice small boat this size. This time I anchor on the reef, getting sick of drifting and drifting and drifting, and the kingfish are back. There's bait fish everywhere, all lit up yellow, and then I spot a big bronze whaler, shark below, and then another one, and another one. There's quite a few sharks milling around over this reef. I make a duck dive, sinking down on the reef to get a closer inspection of what's around. Perhaps a snapper down below, and then I see one of the big bronze whaler sharks coming cruising in, with his friends, small koheru and alike, tucked in closely to his body, or hers. Very cool sight. I love diving with these sharks when they're placid. And as you can see, they're just cruising, very placid at this stage. Soon to change. The kingfish are hanging around this reef, buzzing around looking for a feed. I'm pretty keen to take one even with these sharks here, but I know if I pull the trigger I need a clean shot right through the head. I wait for my chance and the kingfish come buzzing up towards the surface. I dive down, lining up the head, the brain, and of course I take a horrible shot. The shot's too far forward, going through the mouth of the fish, and the kingfish takes off, screaming into the depths, peeling out my reel line, burning a hole in my glove. The sharks go straight for it, and I know this is going to be a massive achievement if I am to land it with 4 big bronze whaler sharks around. The chaos starts and I'm pulling the fish up, just winching it to the surface. If I am to land this fish, I need to get it up very fast. The fish is below, doing laps, circling around. It's not happy, but the sharks are happy. They can sense a free feed. One, 2 big bronze whaler sharks, and I know there's more. Here's another one, 3. Another one down there, 4. Surprisingly, I'm making ground and the fish haven't ripped it off the spear yet. It's a bit weird. They're a bit hesitant for some reason. I've almost got this kingfish to the surface. Luckily it's not a huge fish, so I'm able to just winch it up with my manpower. Normally I would just get the fish into my arms and usually the sharks back off, but this time I'm just a bit hesitant. It's not worth the risk, and don't get it close. The sharks come in, rip it off. I lose the kingfish, but hey, I've got my spear gun, and I'm not injured. Pretty good result. I swim for the boat to get out of the mayhem and have a breather.
Well, that was a bit stupid really, a bit silly. Saw the sharks. I knew that would be a risk. I've never been sharked like that before. I've never lost a kingfish to a shark. I thought if I get a clean shot on the head, stone it, I'll land the fish. Or even just really injure it and just winch it up as I've done in other sharky hotspots. But geez, I don't know what happened. I just shot a bit forward. Basically just went right through the jaw, and that that fish just took off. I've never had a kingfisher run like that. Man, it like burnt through my glove. The reel just fizzed out, man. And you saw the rest. Almost got it up actually. Yeah, I just didn't want to play with fire. Just didn't want to get too close to them and risk getting bitten just for a fish. So that's that. I'm not going to carry on shooting kingfish on this spot. I think I've had my chance. We'll carry on and stick to the plan and try the coast for some snapper. I think we've still got about an hour till high tide. Woo! It got the heart going.
With such a beautiful piece of coastline, it all looking so great, it was hard to decide where to jump in, but I trusted my gut instinct, found a piece, anchored up and jumped in. After setting a quick kinnaburley as backup in case I didn't see anything, I made my way along the coast, finning with the sun behind my back into the current and starting to peek over ledges looking for snapper, and it didn't take long. This one area was loaded with fish, and in between them milling in the current you can see a big snapper just sitting behind this rock in the current. I don't muck around, I dive down, grabbing hold of whatever weed, kelp stalks I could, stretch out and get a shot into this beautiful fish. The snapper senses me but can't quite make me out with the sun behind my back. It's blinded and I'm able to get a shot off before it spooks. The shot goes through behind the head and out the other side, and the fish is stone cold dead. Awesome. Very nice snapper. And a good start only 2 or 3 minutes from the boat. Beautiful snapper. Whenever I kill a fish, or if I'm out hunting animals, when you get a good clean shot, there's no stress, and I tell you what, the flesh, it just tastes a whole lot better. No stress, no fight, it's going to be awesome eating. As normal, getting the knife in the gills, bleeding the fish, greatly improving eating quality. Cut the guts, rip that out, saves cleanup later. And looking in the guts here you can see what the snapper's been eating. Nice little crabs. Always interesting to see what the fish are eating. I move another 100 meters down the coast and see this nice big ledge drop off below. I just sense that there could be a good snapper milling behind there, so I dive down about 10 meters away very quietly and sneak up towards this ledge. Everything you do needs to be so quiet when hunting snapper. I slowly make my way to the edge and I feel it, it's fishy. I'm just peeking over carefully, there could be a snapper anywhere. None down here. Make my way to the right, and sure enough there's a snapper right below me. I stretch out, line it up, but it just skims past the head as I take the shot. The fish takes off, fully spooked, and I've lost my chance there. I notice a few koheru coming in here, lit up yellow, could be a predator nearby, a yellowtail kingfish. Scoping the scene, big school of kahawai come in, nice big mature kahawai. I stretch out and get a shot into one. One of my favourite fish, kahawai, very versatile, good eating, good flavour. It seems my gut instinct has been correct. It's a beautiful piece of coastline, Nice big ledges and gutters, perfect for hunting snapper. So I'm just making my way along this coast, creeping slowly over every ledge. That's what you've got to do when hunting snapper, and eventually you'll stumble upon a nice fish. Nice big gutters here running off into deep water. Perfect place for a snapper to rest. No more luck on the snapper, but I see one of my other favourite species, a nice big butterfish, so make my way down into the kelp bed. Best way to hunt these fish, get down low, lower than the fish, hide in the kelp, and they'll become comfortable emerging from the kelp, enabling you to get a nice shot. I'm just patient here, wait for the right moment. And I get a perfect shot right in the head, stoning the fish. Awesome. With a nice butterfish and snapper, trevally on board, it's time to move on and hunt for a kingfish.
Oh well guys, that was a nice little swim along this bit of coast. A couple of nice snapper parked up behind those ledges. Missed that other one, it was a nice snapper as well, but pretty stoked. Got this nice snapper just parked up behind that ledge. Yeah, not a bad snapper at all. Got it right there, right in the head. Popped out the other side and just, yeah, absolutely stoned it. So yeah, that's a nice eating size snapper, beautiful little fatty. And yeah, got my favourite, the old humble butterfish. Cool facial designs, and yeah, got to feed a fish, pretty happy. So not too sure of the plan yet. I just cruise down the coast and just keep checking out some new terrain, and I think we'll go for a boarfish maybe around the low tide. I've got one spot where I've shot a boary here before, so we'll check that and see if there's any of those around. Get redemption for last week out the Alderman Islands, where I lost that one off the back of my gun. We'll see if we can get redemption there. Yeah, enjoy the day out with some lunch, find a nice little bay to park up in. Might have a sleep, only had about 4 or 5 hours last night. Stunner day, bit of surge and swell, but we're good. Well guys, nothing really was happening on that bit of coastline. It went really dead, just big bouldery kind of boring terrain. May have had something to do with the tide change that is outgoing now. But anyways, we got that nice snapper, a butterfish, koheru. What else did we get? I've got that trevally from earlier on, so yeah, pretty good. I've just come to another spot where I have shot a kingfish before. I'm actually just on my way to park up in a bay and go for the boarfish and have some lunch. And this place went off last time, it was alive, and actually I can see the whole surface here is actually alive with fish, even though it's kind of mid outgoing tide. So a bit of birds working here, might just have a quick jump in. I'm not desperate to get a kingfish, but it would be nice. I don't have any at home. Let's get underwater here, have a look, and if it's not firing we will carry on, park up for lunch and try for that boarfish.
I jump in with my other spear gun. I haven't used it for a while. I just want to make sure it's still shooting straight, and I'm greeted by a big school of kahawai, ready to test it out. line a fish up, and bingo, straight through the head. Classic backflip. Good result. The current was just too intense in the spot where I had anchored. I decided to move on and do some drift dives. I find a school of bait again and jump overboard, and it's not long before I'm greeted with some kingfish below as I drift over this reef. There are some nice kingfish around, some good sized fish, very fat, lots of food for them. This fish must be 20 kg plus. I line it up and shoot straight over the head. I can't believe it. Very nice kingy, and I've missed it at point blank. As soon as the shot goes off, I'm greeted with a huge school of kingfish. Probably 20 plus, good sized kingies. So I'm frantically trying to reload my gun, quickly get the gun loaded and get back down for another shot. Luckily I've done this a few times. I quickly reload, and here's another fish. And I miss again. I actually just can't believe it. 2 fish at point blank, both skimming just over the head. Perhaps the shaft on the spear gun's a bit bent, I'm not sure. Otherwise it's a very bad day on my part. I'm astonished the kingfish are hanging around, but they're slowly starting to disperse, so I need to act quick. This might be my last chance, this third shot. Third time lucky, as they say, eh? Quickly reload once again, and I'll take whatever fish, as there's only a few left now. They're all starting to bugger off. I'll wait for my chance. This one comes in too close. I line it up, and this time I've got a good shot. Spear goes right through the head, and I've got a much better shot. Still, there could be sharks in the area, so I still need to play this fish fast, get it up, get it to the surface, and hopefully land this one. The fish is very hurt, so within a minute I have it at the surface, in my arms, bit of a tussle on the surface, and fish landed. Awesome. Not a huge fish, but hey, at least I've landed this one. One kingy on board, that's enough. So I'm cruising on down the coast once again to find a spot for some boarfish, or perhaps a John Dory. I move on, anchor up in this beautiful little bay and jump in. I'm looking for boarfish. It's a perfect spot, patchy weed and reef backing onto sand, as you can see, and it's not long before I spot a boarfish milling there in the kelp. I spot the unmistakable silhouette of a boarfish below. I return to the surface to get a nice big breathe up so I can go down for the approach, hopefully sparing this fish. Breathe up, sink down, trying to land on top of this fish, then it just spooks. Unfortunate, it was a nice boarfish, a very nice one. The boarfish disappears into the weed. I move along, diving up and down the weed line, but no luck, no more boarfish. Well guys, unlucky on the boarfish once again. The little bugger just didn't want to die today. Every time I've seen boarfish, they've been very, very placid, and you can pretty much just dive down on top of them, get right up to them almost point blank and get a spear into them. But that one saw me from about 10 meters above and just bolted up into the weeds. Gave it a chance, swam around the rest of the weed line here, and thought I might just let it chill out for a while. Came back, and sure enough, it was back around that same area. But as I did a breathe up, as I went straight down, I only got 5 meters down and the thing bolted again. So, oh well, not my day for the boarfish today, but that's all good. Back in the boat, I'm pretty buggered. Got the cob grill out. Been meaning to take this out for a while actually. Give it a crack on the boat. So the cool thing about these is you can put them on any surface, and the way they're constructed, there's no heat transfer, so it can be sitting on top of the chili bin, esky, no worries. Got a couple of steaks and stuff. We'll make a steak semi. So I've got these charcoal briquettes, built-in fire lighter. Open that up. Oopsie. Good demo, eh? A nice, not clean pan from last time. Anyways, so we'll sit that into this little basket in here. We'll whack that in there. Once it's lit, you can actually just put potatoes, veggies all around this moat. Then you put your rack and stuff on top. All the juices actually drip down over your potatoes. No potatoes today, but we're gonna cook up some steak, so let's get this going. Alright, she's away. Just gonna whack that in there. And that's gonna smoke away, burn away, and once that's all white, we can put the food on. Briquette's gone white. Get our plate on there, hot plate, salt these steaks up. Whew, all right, smelling good. I reckon those are ready. Get that off there. Got our vogels, semi-melted cheese. The move's gonna be good. Slice a bit of that steak up. Oh yeah, juicy. Now that's lunch.
With the stomach full of beautifully cooked steak on the cob grill, was off for one last little look. Just such an epic afternoon. I knew the weather was packing in, but I just couldn't resist with this blast off midday. I jump in on one last piece of coast just to look for a few more snapper and scalp for next time. Small snapper milling down here below. Story of the day, another missed shot. Big schools of demersal here, just finning into the current. Nice and clean, nice and fishy. Good recon for next time. A beautiful spotted eagle ray glides past here, and I'm having one last look for a snapper before I call it. After setting a ground bait, I creep over the kelp here, and there's some nice snapper milling above. There's a few nice snapper above around the 12 to 14 pound mark. I stretch out and once again miss. Must be time to go home.
Whew, guys, back in the car. what a mission to get back. I knew that weather was going to pick up, but yeah, I was just enjoying the diving too much to come back in. Punched back about an hour 45, took me about 30 minutes to get over, so yeah, over triple. Anyways, we're back, boats on the trailer, and yeah, we'll shoot home, fillet session, and have a cook up, so see you soon. G'day guys, made it home, back at the fillet station. Here's our catch from yesterday. Stayed really cool overnight in the bin, and we've got our kingy, not a big one but still plenty of meat. It's going to be beautiful eating. We've got that nice snapper, we've got our butterfish, we've got our trevally, and something else hiding under here, a kahawai. So yeah, we'll see what I'm going to do with everything. I'll probably do some raw fish dishes tonight. Bit of a mixture of the kahawai, kingy and trevally. That's just going to be saved for another day. Butterfish burgers, and same with the snapper. So yeah, stock the fridge and freezer back up. I've got no fish. Anyways, I'll see you later. If you want to check out a filleting session, I've got heaps of other videos with that in it. But yeah, I'll see you back up the house and we'll make some tasty meals. After processing the fish, I was left with plenty of beautiful fillets, kingfish, kahawai, trevally, and I decided to do some raw dishes. Look at the texture and amazing condition of this kingfish, just beautiful, beautiful meat. Had to try a bit throughout the process, and wow, a stoned younger kingfish, just so soft and tender. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful fish. I make a few different options. A raw dish here, seared kingfish dish. Such a versatile fish to eat, kingfish. I love it. Seared, cooked in a bit of lime juice, topped with olive oil, a few other ingredients. Such a versatile fish. Bit of fresh ginger here, spring onion, salt, pepper, garlic. Seared kingfish here, come up beautiful. Bit of Kewpie mayo, always goes well with fish. Bit of sesame oil, also a favourite of mine, topped with raw kingfish or seared. Of course, a bit of salt on everything. Garnish. And well, this was shaping up to be a feast. I try a few sushi rolls, bit of avo, keeping it simple, bit more mayo, kingfish, bit of sushi rice, and here's the result. An absolute feast of raw fish. Lucky housemate. Everything was absolutely fantastic eating. Cheers for tuning in to another Primal Pursuit mission. Hope you like that, guys. If you enjoyed it, feel free to give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe and notification bell to get notified for future episodes. If you want to support my journey, support my channel, primalpursuit.co.nz, link in the description. You can grab some of my Primal Pursuit merch. Otherwise, no stress, guys. Sit back, relax, and get ready for some more action. Plenty more on its way. Cheers.